Hey everyone, you have reached the landing, OnePlanet's weekly meeting place for the entire Polygon NFT community. Every week at this time, you will learn more about the Polygon network, its native token Matic, and discuss the wonderful world of NFTs with some of the best and brightest minds from the NFT universe. And now, here's your host.
Planet's the place to be to showcase your NFTs. Best blockchain is Polygon. OnePlanet, one to be on, yeah.
So we got an awesome lineup today. I'm super excited about the topic that we're discussing today around content creation. When I first came into Polygon, I saw, Matic Man producing a lot of content. I saw Narb tearing it up with the memes and the data. Now, as we're getting more content creators from different blockchains coming in and sharing their skills. We have people like Jordan who's been blowing it up with his videos and MutantZ. I love what they're doing. They're incorporating the micro stories. You got the videos that they produce as well. The trailer video that they have right now is awesome to look at. So I just want to discuss that topic today, and see what strategies are working for you guys right now, and then maybe in the next 6 to 12 months, like what are we all looking for, right? I think we're seeing video just pop a little bit more in engagement on Twitter, so I think we can get some good tips from Jordan there. But yeah, so before we get started with the topic, let's get the music going. Matic Man, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's do this.
Hey everyone, you have reached the landing, OnePlanet's weekly meeting place for the entire Polygon NFT community. Every week at this time, you will learn more about the Polygon network, its native token Matic, and discuss the wonderful world of NFTs with some of the best and brightest minds from the NFT universe. And now, here's your host.
Planet's the place to be to showcase your NFTs. Best blockchain is Polygon. OnePlanet, one to be on, yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Matic Man. Appreciate it as always. Love the music to get us started, and to get more listeners in here. Let's try and like and retweet the post that's at the top here. Let's get more content creators in here and leave a comment. Let us know, who are you watching? Who are you following that entertains you when you're looking at your feed? Which content creators are catching your attention? We want them to come in and share their experiences, their strategies. So let us get a boost there. Before we dive fully into the main topic, just want to give a shout out to Meta Vixens as well, who are going to be listing on OnePlanet, the marketplace. They have really dope art. I know they're doing really well with their collection. So I'm excited to learn more about them as well. And I want to get through the metrics, the data, and the Polygon information first before I have to kind of break that conversation up if we do it later on. So we'll just switch up the segments a little bit here. Ghost, do you want to get us started with the OnePlanet marketplace data? Then we'll go to Narb, and then we'll dive into the topic here today.
Yes, sir. It'll be my pleasure. So this past week we had one continuous mint going on with Polygon citizens. To start off weekly volumes, we have Hellcats number one, still reigning kings concerning volume. We have Polygon citizens, then Nerdy Moody Genesis, Derby Stars, and then Trippy Wolves. Hellcats had a slight decrease of 13% floor price. We have Polygon Citizens with a 12.5% increase in floor price. We have Nerdy Moody Genesis just slightly 5%. We have Derby Stars, a continuous growth since week 2. So we're going on about 3 weeks doing this. They had a 3%. Every week they're slowly increasing. And then we have my Trippy Wolves with 6%, 6.25% decrease, slight decrease in floor price. The highest NFT sales this week, we have Hellcats yet again with $1,300 for NFT 1596. And then we had the Queen of the Toads for Polygon Citizens. You have to represent the Toad gangs with a sale of $800 USDC. And then next up is one of the Derby Star horses for $621. So it's quite interesting seeing the feeds and the activity going on this past week. By far, Polygon Citizens has had the highest amount of transactions as people are minting. They either listed for the mint price or a little bit lower. They go back, they go remint. And it's just a big shuffle in between the community as they try to find that citizen that most appeals to their taste. And then we had our Hellcats mint last week. Of course, we knew it was going to go out. And that's about it. It's been a good week so far.
Awesome, Ghost. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's interesting to see the Polygon Citizens numbers move up as well in the live launchpad. There's 2,111 that have been minted out of 2,500. So they're getting very close to minting out. So that's exciting for them for sure.
And I'm sorry, cut you off. What I like about it is the whole community is just watching. It's not a painstaking, a slow mint out. It's just okay, who's getting what and what's still left out. And the PS Labs team has done a great job in trying to tie different stories to the mint out and what's left and what communities are being developed.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, every day it's a new piece of content that comes out from new people. Like yesterday, there was this new person that I hadn't met before. He goes by OX Joe, but he created a whole 10-minute video about PS Labs and their webpage, and then also the minting experience on OnePlanet. And he's picked up a few different NFTs already. So yeah, it's been cool to see the continuous attention and work that PS Labs has been putting on, and people continue to notice them. So definitely exciting there. Narb, what's going on with you, man? How are you doing today? What news do you have for us about Polygon?
Doing great, man. Glad to be here. So yeah, I got a few pieces of news and metrics for this week. Starting with some metrics, Polygon daily active addresses currently hovering right around 390K, daily transactions around 3 million. This past week, we hit a milestone of 2.4 billion total transactions on the Polygon POS chain. The total unique addresses just passed 215 million as well. I also wanted to give a shout out to a recent blog that was released by Polygon going over some of the growth of 2022. In Q1 of 2022, Polygon had 4.85 million active wallets. And then by Q4 of 2022, Polygon had 11.2 million active wallets. So some great growth on the user base there. And then in terms of developers in 2022, we saw a lot of growth there as well. Contracts created increased by 2.5x to 795K. Contract creators increased by 7.4x to 237K. And new first-time creators or first-time developers increased by 7x in 2022 to 233K. And then just some news here. The Polygon ZK EVM testnet is going really, really well right now. So far has executed over 260,000 transactions, over 80,000 wallets, and the mainnet launch for the ZK EVM. The actual date should be announced pretty soon by the sounds of it. It sounds like the team does have a date in mind. And originally that was supposed to be in Q1 of 2023. So Polygon ZK EVM mainnet coming very soon. Some more news. This just came out, I believe, yesterday. Fractal is coming to Polygon with mints, tournaments, marketplaces, and 30 game launch partners are coming along with them. And if you guys didn't know, the co-founder of Fractal, his name is Justin Kahn, was one of the founders of Twitch, the live streaming platform. So really, really cool to see that on Polygon. Another one that just came out today was Lil Pudgies by Pudgy Penguins. They are now able to bridge to Polygon. So Polygon, Arbitrum, and BNB. So that's something cool. Little Pudgies can come on over to Polygon now. Then lastly, I just sort of wanted to give a shout out to the Polygon Ape Yacht Club, who's now minted out all 10,000 of their NFTs. There's been quite a lot of hype around this collection over the past week. I think they had originally started their mint in November. It was really, really slow in the beginning, but really took off over the past week or so, and they have completely minted out. And they're seeing a decent amount of volume on the marketplaces as well. So overall, I'd say things are going great in terms of metrics, and on the NFT side of things, Polygon is really starting to heat up and a lot of eyeballs on it.
Yeah, thank you, Narb, for all that information. There's so much going on in Polygon. I think I am starting to get to the point where it's overwhelming to keep track of everything, right? There's there's more marketplaces. I mean, Fractal, that's huge. And talking about content creation in specific, I think the goal there with Polygon being such a gaming heavy blockchain and that relationship with Fractal is going to be interesting to watch, right? To see what kind of content creators establish themselves in that platform and produce content for Polygon. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Narb.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure sort of into the specifics about what this sort of partnership will entail, but obviously having the the founder of Twitch coming on over to Polygon is just really, really cool. Obviously, Polygon has seen a lot of huge names, a lot of Web2 brands come over to Polygon, but I don't know. Every time we see these sort of things happen, I don't know why I get surprised anymore by these types of things, but I don't know. It's just really cool to see some of like the brightest minds, the brightest builders that came from the Web2 world coming over to build on Polygon. And I think it's just going to be really cool in general to see the sort of things that they come up with and how this expands over time.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good thing to see that continuous approach from different bigger brands, right? That it just doesn't stop. It wasn't like just a 2022 thing that happened. Like even now, we're seeing just those bigger brands continue to come into Polygon. So definitely excited about that. So let's dive in a little bit more into content creation in specific. I want to start with Jordan. If you want to introduce yourself and share.
Hey,
Yeah, what's up, man? Share a little
hey,
bit
let's
about.
go, man. I'm so happy to be up here. I'm so fucking bullish on y'all. Shout out for having me. I noticed there's about 25 people in the room just looking at the space. Man, guys, what are you fucking doing? Let's get a retweet going. Let's drop a W. I mean, it's
Oh no, I think everybody got muted. Sorry, Jordan. Go for it again, man. Give us that energy one more time.
God damn it, man. God, they want to put the
He's trying to hold you back.
Yo, they want guys. They just don't want the guys with the mullets to win, man. They want us in fucking cages. It's unbelievable. Excuse my language. I'm just fired up right now. But yeah, basically, bought this Ute, I'd say about a month ago, and it really got me looking into all things Polygon. First thing I noticed as a content creator that there's not much content being created, especially in short form video. So I took the leap, and now the only thing I pretty much got going is the weekly Polygon like developments or recap. So it's just a way to get the knowledge if there's the space. The space moves very, very fast. So I'm just trying to take all that information and make it bite sized, make it fun, make it easy to digest. So I plan to do this every week until I physically can't anymore. So that's going to be a lot of weeks to come. And then I'm also covering it through a weekly newsletter where you know, so it's a mix of both, a mix of written and video content. But yeah, be sure to follow me and turn those bells on, because I am dropping some really high quality content, and you definitely don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. And just to dive a little bit deeper into the quality content that you mentioned, I'm curious, how long does it take you to make one of those minute-long videos?
Yo, that's the thing, is like people don't realize how long it takes. It's between, because it's not just you know, filming it. It's obviously planning a script, doing the research on that script, you know, browsing through Twitter for hours trying to find like good information and trying to piece that together in a way that makes sense. And then there's the process of filming, editing, etc. And I would say total it could take me 8 to 10 hours, which people think is crazy, but you know, the work speaks for itself, and I don't want to be putting out you know, work that doesn't feel high quality. And I just, you know, I genuinely enjoy editing. So for me, it's just fun. You know, the whole process of creating is fun for me. So it doesn't really feel like work, but you know, that's the time it does take. The only thing that sucks is like I can't like create 5 videos, 6 videos a week, or else I'll burn out. You know, so it's very hard to produce a lot of quantity. But even though I'm posting 1 to 2 videos a week, I feel like at the same time people are like, oh, like it's Jordan's just dropped a video, cool, you know, like let me tap in, rather than like I'm just shoving content down people's throats. I feel like, you know, throwing it out once or twice a week, like people seem to resonate with that, and it's doing really well, especially the Polygon side of things. So I'm super excited to keep going with it. The founders, a lot of people on the team, a lot of people in the ecosystem are showing their support. So that gets me fired up, and it keeps me going. And again, I'm just here to, you know, do my best and put the spotlight. And a lot of my audience is ETH and Sol MFers. So I'm hoping that, you know, the more I put out this content, the more interested they'll be. Every time I put out a video, I get a bunch of people in the DMs asking me questions about the things I'm covering. So just try to do my best to explain. And, you know, again, the goal here is to just onboard people, right? You know, we want more people in the ecosystem. We want, you know, newbies to come in, and you know, we don't need more cycled liquidity, guys. Okay, we need new money flow. And how do we do that? Content creation. It's just the wave. Content is everything. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for sharing that. I completely agree with you. I wish Rekt was in the house because he'd definitely agree with you about that circulation of funds there. Go ahead, Matic man.
Edwin, I am so hyped right now, and I haven't even had an energy drink. I mean, I'm just really hyped, man. I'm looking up at, you know, in this group, man, we've got, I always call him the GOAT, and that's true, Narb. And man, Narb, I feel a little old. They would call both of us OGs because we've been in Polygon over a year now, and you've been in several years. We're OGs, but I look at this crowd, man. Jordan is going to be an absolute legend in Polygon. This guy is incredible. In fact, Jordan, I'm so bullish on you, man. I'm going to try to grow a mullet. I want, you know,
What?
I got to have
What?
a mullet,
Yo.
man. I'm going to start working on it today. I'm going to let it
I'm gonna
grow
hold
out.
you to that, Matic man. You said it. This space is recorded. I hope. Clip it.
Okay, well, the mullet is coming. I've got to be, you know, he's Jordan. I don't know if it's like Michael Jordan. We could call him MJ or whatever. I want to be like Jordan, man. And then we have Anna from MetaVixens. Edwin, she is an absolute force of nature. Her crowd, man, the MetaVixen community, they love her. She's a rock star. We got the mutants, man. This is incredible. Manny V, Ghost. This is incredible. I'm at Polygon Punks, PS Labs. Purple Wave, man. Purple Wave.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go. There's a lot of education to still be shared and content to be created. So that's what's important right now, right? The attention economy, and that's the goal here today. I want to talk strategies, right? Like what's working, what's not working. What have you tried, and you know, you felt like it was a dud, and maybe funds not spent well. You know, I think Jordan put some keywords there. You know, like the speed of content, right, and being able to provide a lot of information in under a minute. I think through the new platforms, or I guess old platforms like TikTok, right? It's not so new anymore, but they are leading us to the point where we need that quick adrenaline rush in a minute, otherwise we get bored. And so bringing that into Twitter, I think it's important, right? Like what's catchy on our feed. I want to go with Pablo from MutantZ. What's going on? How are you doing? What's some content creation strategies that you're using?
Hi everyone, how's it going? Hello from London. I think you're all there in the States. This is already quite late here. It's 11:30 at night, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the conversation. So it's so cool to to listen to you guys talking about content. I think the main thing that has made the impact that content has had in Polygon is absolutely brutal. When I started a year and a half ago in crypto, Polygon was, you keep me honest, Matic Man and Narb, but it was a place for developers, made by and for developers. And in the last couple of months, thanks to the amount of content that people are creating in this blockchain, mainly, dividing between education and cool shit that people are doing, suddenly is creating the culture that we were all trying to find here. It was a very complicated blockchain to actually define, and then step by step we're creating a culture in this blockchain so we can identify with it. It's a very human thing that is happening right now. People are growing in the blockchain. It's starting to have a face, and I fucking love it. I promise. Even 5 months ago, when we migrated to Polygon, this was just like completely different. This is a completely different vibe right now. Sorry, I wanted to start with that because I'm very, very excited about listening to people that are actually putting their time on creating stuff for this blockchain. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, man, it's all good points, right? And for us that we migrated from Terra, like we saw that growth over there, and then now we're kind of seeing it again here in a space that, even though it's starting to get a bit overwhelming, is still not saturated, right? There's still so much potential here.
Yeah, man. I think that's exactly it. It's it is suddenly people is having eyeballs in this blockchain, and that's why we are so excited. It was mainly when suddenly youths decided to come here. It is the arrival of the launchpad with all the projects coming from Terra and some of the new projects deciding to come here. It's all these brands coming to Polygon. There's like the perfect storm of people coming that really want to start creating here. I'm so excited, and it's been very, very hard coming from Terra to Polygon, and it's the first time that it's starting to look like very cozy here with all the people. We are starting to know each other. It's just the culture is starting, and it's so good to see. It's amazing. So thank you to all the speakers for being here, and we are very, very proud. We're gonna launch MutantZ finally on February the 2nd, after the massive Terra crash that we lived in May. And then thanks to OnePlanet, we managed to survive all this time, and we are ready to go. And these last 3 weeks have been a blast because we have seen such a growth in the community, in the hype. People from Terra coming back and say, "Hey guys, you're coming back. I want to mint," and it's just fucking amazing seeing the growth in the. And we are excited about putting content out there. We started with experiment. We contacted Matt Lee, which is a rapper that was absolutely amazing doing his thing in Terra, and we commissioned a song when we launched for the Mutants, and then he wrote this for that. We launched with this song, and people went absolutely mad. So it was the first sort of proof that of the power of good content. That was a tune that people shared, and the project got, you can vote that for me, Edwin. It got semi-famous in Terra after that song. And from that, we are real advocates about creating good content for mutants. This is what we are, because MutantZ is meant to be an original IP. It is about 10 characters that are gonna evolve. That's the reason that it's called Mutants, and it's all about developing that IP by creating stories. We commissioned L.S. Miller, which is a sci-fi writer, to create one different chapter every week for us, so we can see the development of the characters in a little bit longer story. And it is amazing seeing people engaging with the story, and not only sort of light touch sort of interaction with us, but proper deep dives. Knowing the characters and affecting the story is a blast. Seeing the community interacting with the stories. And the future of Mutants is going to be all about creating IP. And the first thing that we really want to focus on is creating some film content, animation. My background is in advertising, marketing, and TV, so we have good contacts with Netflix, Channel 4, and we're going to leverage all those partnerships in order to create content that is really seen by the real world, and that way onboard the masses into the project and into Polygon.
Yeah, thanks for that, Pablo. What I like is that you guys are figuring out ways to continue to produce content for your community, right? And around your project from different angles, from music, from videos, from stories. And I think that's where a lot of projects are struggling right now, where they can't find that continuous story-driven narrative around their project. And so a lot of their community are kind of just feeling like there's no movement going on, right? Like the when question comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think my obsession is creating a project that whose NFT side is not the most important one, but is the story the most important one, in order to appeal a wider audience. And if you really want to enjoy the project, if you want to really live the story from via PC, you go and purchase the NFT, and that will give you exclusive access to the creative hub. To be able to not only to see it very closely, you would actually be able to affect the story, and that is what we want to build, something that is very, very appealing for the real world, and only for the few that want to get into the NFT projects, they're going to be able to build it with us. And I think that's the key thing that we really need to nail, being able to communicate and to make people experience, and to make holders experience that they actually affecting the content that we put in out there, because that for me is significant. The fact that they can actually affect the story, that we can commission artists to create art for us. It's just very significant and meaningful for our community.
Jordan, did you want to comment on this? I know you had your hand raised for a little bit.
Oh no, I was it was in the part where we were talking about, basically it slipped my mind, but basically the point was that just to encourage people to start creating content. I'm trying to, God damn it. But again, just to encourage people to start. People often mistake that you need the craziest tools to get started, but you can provide value in so many ways. Whatever knowledge you have, you might not think that's interesting, but to someone else, that's everything, right? So, I always like to say this. I record my stuff on my iPhone and edit it in, a free editing software. So for anyone that's just looking to get started, I would recommend just going for it. because we need more content creators to, it's not going to happen with one or two people. Like, we need mad heads getting on the wave, creating content to onboard people. Like, that one meme that goes viral could just like spark someone's curiosity. That one 30-second clip you make could spark someone's curiosity. So let's keep pushing, guys.
Yeah, man, I love that point of just getting started, right? Because as you have an idea, you visualize something in your head and you deploy it, right? You share it, you give it a chance to live, and then through feedback, you'll quickly realize if it works or it doesn't, right? And the engagement that you get determines that. If you go for a year and you have no engagement, then maybe you can pivot and try something else. But if you do it for a year, it can grow, right? And it can help guide you depending on how the market feels about what you're creating. Go ahead, Pablo.
I think the key thing that Jordan is saying is all about learning, right? You try it once, you see what sticks, you improve marginally your content, you keep and you keep doing it. I think that's the great thing as well about social media and Twitter, and you have the constant feedback. When we started, it was like, let's see what happens. Do people like this? Oh, absolutely, they absolutely hate it. Are they gonna like this? And it's about trying, because funnily enough, you never know what's gonna stick. it's about putting a lot of things out there and having like a sense, a certain sense of good taste and quality. And I think that plus a little bit of time and a little bit of work is going to get you to the right place. I'm convinced.
Yeah, go ahead, Matic.
Yeah, Edwin, I was going to, the age-old question, which came first or which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Like with content creation, which comes first, content creation or a project or a blockchain taking off? Does it take a blockchain to take off before content creators flood in? Or do the content creators help the blockchain to take off or the project to take off? Frank said in a space a couple of weeks ago, I wrote it down. He said something like this: NFT sales are driven by hype. Hype is built by bringing attention to a project, and attention is gained through content creation. So he was just talking about 2023 being the year of content creation and content creators. So I'm really excited about it. Just wanted to add that.
Yo, and to go on top of that, like, if you're exploring opportunities within the Web3 space, you'd be surprised where you can go in a couple of months of just creating content. And for example, of youths, in a recent announcement in the Discord, they're throwing up a job board. One of the positions they're hiring is for a content creator, so just get started. When I first got started, I literally just left the phone roll. I let the camera roll, and I would just kind of get used to having the camera rolling. And eventually you get comfortable and you adapt, and you just kind of perfect your style as you go along. Like, you're not going to get it right on the first try, but like I said, there's so many opportunities. Continue to create, grow your brands, and leverage that.
I watched Jordan. I watched a video of a YouTuber that he created talking about his skills a year before, and you could see that was absolutely amazing. It was so inspiring, that video. The guy was talking clearly to camera, confident, absolutely like you imagine, like a proper YouTuber to actually act in front of a lens, in front of a camera. And he played the first video that he shot, and he was a shy guy. Her body position was wrong. He was speaking like not in the right pace. His timing was absolutely wrong. The amazing change that a year of doing the same thing and practices and improving, he was a completely different person. He was from an amateur to a professional. So it's just not only about success, it's about trying it again. It's about the 1,000 hours in a flying. It's just, experience is just amazing. And as you say, Jordan, the opportunities that can arise, we think that we're going to a place, but once we get visibility, so many opportunities arise that you're never gonna know what's gonna be.
Yeah, thank you for that, Pablo. I want to check in with MetaVix and Can you share a little bit about your project, your story, Anna, and then how are you dealing with content creation?
Hey guys, it's a bit late over here, but the conversation is super interesting. So I'm glad I made it. To me, content creation is a really interesting topic. So I'm really enjoying hearing you guys talking about it. To me, I mean, I have an NFT project, and it's almost a year old now. I've been busy working on some stuff for the first year, which is in a couple of weeks, which is super exciting. I mean, to me, the NFT space itself is very content driven. So I mean, there always has to be content coming out, and I've gotten to experience that, firsthand, because I've had to take on the role of doing the marketing stuff, and it's I've seen the effect that it has, and it's always has to be there, because it does drive, a lot of engagement. So there's a lot of effort that has to go behind the scenes in all of this, and there's a synergy, between the content and the project itself, from my point of view as a project founder. And but yeah, I just have to say, I love your videos, Jordan, and you can really tell that there's a lot of effort that goes into them, because like you said, onboarding through content creation is key right now. But that also requires onboarding of the content creators, right? And I think Polygon has gotten really good at that, because the vibe is absolutely amazing. The hype is crazy, and I feel like it's growing exponentially. I know, I don't know, from my point of view, the last couple of weeks especially, it's just been going, nuts. There's always so much awesome stuff going on. Like, I thought 2022 was, always stuff happening, but I feel like now it's like in full gear. So that itself is inspiring and will spark more and more quality content being created. So yeah, that's my opinion on this.
And just to add on that, like, one thing is, like, you look at people's platforms, and if you study them and go back and see how they were built, like, people build their audience off emerging trends and things, and they just get in early enough, and they become a voice for whatever that is. And then it's way easier to build your audience around something like that when you get in early on a trend. So Polygon is that trend. It's only going to get crazier from here. So, you might as well hop in and get busy. And the thing is, the bar is so low. You just scroll through the feed. There's such a lack of good content. It's just a mix of, like, people engagement farming, and eventually that's going to fade out, right? As more people create quality content. And, you can even level up, for example, the whole GM thing, right? Like GN, everyone does that. You could literally download Get Creative Cloud for like $20 a month, watch a couple of YouTube tutorials, and there you go. You're making a graphic for your GM tweet, and all of a sudden you stand out the crowd. You're that 1%, all because you're just putting that little effort in. And it just goes to show, like, you can really separate yourself. The bar is low, guys. The bar is fucking low.
Yeah, definitely. And if I may add to that, I'm having these add-ons being created every now and then when I have some time, so my holders can add, like little GMs and GNs and fun stuff to their metavixens, and it's been actually going really nice, because it's fun for them, and then it creates basically new content, even though the NFT is the same, but it just gives that opportunity of more engagement, more targeted engagement. So that's been working really nice.
What's interesting that Jordan mentioned is that the bar is set low, right? And what makes me, or what I'm thinking about there too, is that with this AI new tech that we're getting, if you want to come up with stories, if you want to come up with graphics, all you really need to do is visualize it and think about it. You don't even need to be the full artist, right? And learn how to draw. Obviously, you can spend time doing that, but if you just have a vision in your head and you want to put something together, in 10 to 15 minutes, you can come up with some quality stuff through ChatGPT and through Midjourney, right? So it's definitely there. The tools are there. All you need is that creativity. And then the second thing here is that a lot of we've seen a lot of projects, and you mentioned this, Anna, where the founder, is dealing with so many things, right? They're building their project, they're the artists, they're doing the marketing, they're doing the engagement in their Discord. It's a lot to handle. So I definitely think that as we get more content creators in Polygon, there's going to be opportunities for them to work directly with specific projects, right? And to have kind of like a recurring contract with them, or just being, I think there's going to be ways for content creators to make money here as well. So it becomes a synergistic relationship between the projects, the founders, and content creators themselves. Go ahead, Narb.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I love that you guys brought this up, and that Jordan brought up like the making your GM tweet a little bit different. What I started doing was I started posting sort of different purple Pepes with my GM tweet. Like, it's something that's very small, but it's a little bit different than everyone else. And people love the purple Pepes for whatever reason. But exactly what he was saying was you just need to do something a little bit different, because just tweeting, something like GM every morning and then GN at night, that kind of engagement is only going to last so long. It's not going to last forever. So just get creative with your content. And if you're having like a hard time starting with content creation, whether it be videos, threads, whatever, like everyone was saying, 100%, you just have to get started. You're never going to wake up one day and you're going to have it all figured out and you're going to know exactly how to create content the best way. It's going to take time and it's going to take practice. And honestly, if what you're scared of is judgment from other people, how people are going to, people might hate on your content or whatever, those types of people that are in your replies are probably not the type of people you want to be interacting with anyway. So just block them, create the content that you want to create, and good things will come.
Yeah, great points, Narb. Go ahead, Pablo.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that's the great thing about the digital space. Fear is one of the main barriers that stop people to start creating content. The great thing about the digital space is that you can actually create your creative persona. Don't be yourself, be someone else. Be the person that you want to be. You don't have to be yourself. And it is such a great way to remove barriers from who you were and starting the journey of the person that you want to be. And it feels a little bit too deep, but that's absolutely right. It's just ground zero for everyone.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, if I could just take a moment and give out some flowers. Narb, man, Polygon ecosystem owes you so much. We will never know how many people you've influenced to just put their eyes on Polygon, how many people you've brought into this ecosystem over the last few years. When I started looking at Polygon really deeply, you were the only one putting out any content. You were doing a video every day. And man, you inspired me. I don't know if I would be in content creation and Polygon if it wasn't for you, your encouragement, just your motivation, man. You inspired me, really, man. So thank you as a young guy who's an OG in Polygon, for believing in Polygon maybe when very few others did, and for putting out that content. I'm sure there were times you felt like, what am I doing, man? We're just kind of stagnant. There's not a huge community, but man, thank you for, just want to give out some flowers today, man. You're the GOAT, man. You've set the stage for people like Jordan and all of these content creators that are flooding in now. It was because you paved the way. So thank you, man. Props to you.
I really appreciate you saying that, man. Like what you were saying was in the beginning, when there was no community, and the community just sort of starting now. But when I was creating those content, I was creating a video every day about 2 years ago. There was no Polygon community at all, like you were saying. And then you reached out to me in DM asking for tips, and you sort of took off ever since, man. And that's like all the things that everyone's been talking about on the stage. Matic, man, I watched you go from zero to where you are now, with the exact advice that everyone's been talking about on the stage. You stayed consistent. You created the content you wanted to. You made the networking connections. You showed up every day. You're on Twitter Spaces. You created the content that you wanted to. and your channel grew, right? And that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's about creating the content that you want to create on a consistent level, trying to be, and another thing is just trying to be a good person. I think when people hear you speaking on Twitter Spaces, they can see, they can tell that you're a good person also, and people are going to vibe with that, man. So I appreciate the kind words, yeah, man, keep rocking.
Thanks, bro. And it's absolutely incredible to think it's only been 13 months. Jordan, you mentioned like the opportunities are there. Man, they're wide open in Polygon right now. Still, there's so much room for content creators, and you can move quickly in this ecosystem, man. We're excited about what's going to happen with you this year, Jordan. And Anna, MetaVixens, this is your year. Hey, guys, this is our time in Polygon. It's our time.
Bullish on you, man. Thank you. And it just goes to show, like, the numbers are there. The ecosystem is super supportive. Like, if you're putting out good content, I think every time I've put out a Polygon piece, I've had Sandeep retweet it. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Yeah, he's retweeting it. A lot of the team has shown love, and a lot of people around the ecosystem has shown love. So getting that organic reach is super easy. Did I pronounce this?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Let's go. I was like, God damn, man, I don't know how to pronounce anything.
He's awesome, by the way, man. He's super supportive of everyone, and he loves the community, creating content. So honestly, and just a shout out to you, man. The editing skills that you have on those videos are insane. I don't know how you do it. I know you said it took you 8 to 10 hours to create a minute video. I'm not surprised that, like, I don't know how you do it, but shout out to you, man. And yeah, obviously, if you keep creating that kind of content, go ahead.
We're only going crazier, Narb. Like,
let's go.
I swear to God, every time I finish an edit, I don't like it. I literally don't like it anymore. Like, I get upset scrolling through my feed because I just want to keep improving and make the best quality content out there. I just got into a co-work space, which I'm super excited about, and I'm going to be filming content from here. So hopefully I can get like some nice, consistent lighting and stuff like that, because it does go a long way. The little things like that do go a long way for content. So
it does look really good right now. Your lighting does.
Thank you, dude. The thing is, it's very difficult. I have to wake up super early, catch like the sun beaming through the window, because at the moment I'm working in a really tight space, and it's literally impossible to fit lights in there. But no, I appreciate you, Narb. It means a lot, man. And yeah, speaking to the Pepe thing, I was literally in the DMs with Narb, like asking him, like, dude, like, how do I need some memes, like I need this. He's like, dude, I just create these little things. So I was like, God damn, it's really that simple. After our chat, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my first meme, and I did.
Yo, speaking of memes, we got the meme king Giannis in the house. What's going on, sir?
Hello, everybody.
The master is here. The master, the meme master.
Oh boy.
Hello, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you for the kind and warm presentation. I was about to call it a night because it is almost 2 a.m. here, but I just, logged in on Twitter to see some FUD, and I see my bros. I see Edwin, I see Ghost, I see Pablo from MutantZ, and all the other people that are now in the space. So I also see that the content creation is today's theme, and it is a very interesting topic. So I wanted, to say a few words. I think that, I will not say something that none of you covered earlier, but I really think that we have a unique opportunity with content creation, since I think it is the first time, at least the first time that I remember, with so many people from so many different cultures and backgrounds that are connected with blockchain technology and Web3 in general. So, I think that it is a really good opportunity for content creators to expand and learn, experiment with new talents they might have, and, come in contact with new people. So I think content creation is, what can bring the all-weighted mass adoption that we all want for, but also it can work with, getting more people involved in different things. So I think it is really, really, really important to focus on this.
Yeah, I love that you touched on the experimentation component there because in Web3, that's what we're all doing right now too, right? We're all experimenting and trying to push the NFT tech forward and innovating there. But then also from the content creation side, we're also experimenting to find what works best, right? And Jordan seems to have found a specific area that works for him with his videos. We have Giannis, that's a master at making memes. Ghost is starting to get into creating data, right, and sharing that with us in regard to the marketplace with OnePlanet. So yes, I think experimenting is a good way here to continue to push forward with content creation. We have Jake.NFT up here as a speaker. What's going on, sir?
Yo, how we doing, guys?
Doing good. Are you making any content?
Well, I would say, a fairly good job of utilizing the add-ons that Anna was just talking about for MetaVixes. Beyond that, most of my content is just trying to shill out, bags I have, artists I like, projects I'm excited about. But yeah, I'm just going to double down and I'm just going to go full shill for Anna here. Like, she's created an entire set of add-ons. Everything from birthday, shout outs, good mornings, good nights, mint drop, sold out, all kinds of stuff. Really cute, fun add-ons that I've further played with in Photoshop. I've got a design background. That's what I do professionally too. So it's really fun to have an artist provide a lot of content that gives me freedom to further shill, further promote, further, diversify ourselves from the average collection that's out there. Because a lot of it is, like you guys said, it's just a tweet that says good morning and a literal photo of the NFT or whatever, and that gets old super fast. So anything you can do to make it more unique, make it more interesting, or just make people even just look twice, I think is a huge thing. Because I surf a lot of Twitter during a day, both just for fun, for engagement, and also hunting new stuff. And a lot of it, I'm just scrolling by, because when I just see good morning with an NFT in its generic form that I've seen 20 times or that I'm extremely familiar with, I just move along. Like, who cares? I've seen it 50 times. I'll see it 50 more times. It's whatever. So, I don't make a whole lot of content myself. Between my own my own small collection I'm working on and all the projects I'm a part of and trying to help promote / get the word out for, I don't spend much time creating beyond the MetaVix and stuff. But I do love mixing and matching. Like, a big thing I've been trying to do lately is find kind of common traits, colors, dynamics between collections that have absolutely no physical connection. Like, they're not inspired by each other, they're not derivatives, they're not connected, they probably don't even know each other. And I like to have fun, building collages that call out, look at all the blue-eyed NFTs, or look at all the NFTs with this kind of hat, or whatever. There's some sort of common denominator between them to kind of bring a community together, or just bring a awareness to maybe a collection don't have on your radar because you're in different circles. So that's about as far as I go content wise. I'm not doing any video, anything like that. Yeah, that's kind of as far as it goes for content for me.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. I think something to be aware of as well is that there is a lot of noise on our feeds as well, right? So I think something that would be interesting to see as Polygon continues to grow with content creators is who comes in to curate and bring all of those pieces of content and put them in one place, right? So that we can decrease that all the noise and have a little bit of a better grasp of where things are appearing, like just one feed to look at Jordan's and, your feed, Jake, and Giannis, just to get away from some of the noise that we have on Twitter, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'll just say one last thing and then I'll mute here. I just want to thank you guys for having this space. super awesome. Like you guys said, there's been an absolute, purple tsunami wave of info, add-ons, all kinds of shit's been going on at Polygon this last month. I've been in this space for about a year or so now, and when I started, Ethereum was still above $4,000, and I watched the absolute washout of all that when that collapsed, and a lot of us are still here, and it was very quiet for a while and really sad and painful, but I'm gonna show this one more time because I have to. I'm her whale and I'm super pumped about it, but it is almost Friday, and there's this thing that happens every 2 weeks in MetaVixen land, which is fresh mints for bid. And I don't know if I got to tell you guys this, but MetaVixens has been around for a long time, and I still haven't found a better project. It's been almost a year since I bought my first one. I'm still buying. I bought them at 0.02. I bought it at 0.43 the other week, and she just got her all-time high sale USD, $653 this week. So she's hotter than ever, and I highly suggest you check them out if you haven't. The bid wars are pretty fun. It gets really nuts, usually the last 30 minutes before they go, and she's not releasing as many anymore, so it's a lot harder to grab them. So that ends my shill. Thank you guys so much. Please check out MetaVixens, and y'all have a great time.
All right. Thank you, Jake. So we've hit an hour here, and I want to close down the space so that you guys can go and get back to your jobs and creating content and engaging with your communities. But I feel like we had some good discussions here around content creation. Just to share a little bit of what we have coming up with OnePlanet, we have MetaVixens, of course, that are going to be listing with us. We have MutantZ that have their launch pad on February 2nd. We have Cypher Wars that will have their launch pad on the 26th. So actually almost 24 hours from now, they'll have that. Check out Jordan's account so you can look at the video and the content that he's creating around Polygon. Of course, you got Narb here, who's always talking about what's going on with Polygon, Ghost with some data and shilling the trippy wolves, Giannis with the memes, keeping it fun for the community. So we have a lot of stuff going on here. So thank you all for participating today and sharing your thoughts around content creation. Thank you to the listeners for spending your time with us. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM any of us up here. We're all growing together, right? I think right now that's the goal here, that we're all working together to grow Polygon, to grow NFTs in general. So let's help each other out. With that being said, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back on Sunday with a Twitter space focusing just on MutantZ. We want to learn more about their project, dive deep, and that will be with Dave, our ambassador as well. And then next week on Wednesday, we'll have another The Landing Twitter space. All right. Take care, everyone. I'm glad we got to have this space today.
Thanks for joining us for The Landing, OnePlanet's weekly meeting space. Please join us again next week at the same time.